The first thing to say about this is that there is an almost identical piece in the Victoria and Albert Museum. In fact, I think yours is slightly better because the one in the V&A doesn't have the base part to it.
No.
But it has these panels of marquetry, identical to this, and it has a nice warm feel to it, as if it's a family piece.
Yes.
So is it?
Yes, it is. My father bought it after the war. Then when he died, he left it to my mother in her lifetime.
Right.
And then when she died just before Christmas, I chose it out of her possessions.
Well, it is basically William and Mary period, just before Queen Anne. Could stretch into about 1700, 1702, that sort of date. This lovely simplistic marquetry, which of course we actually took directly from the Dutch influence.
Yes.
And we want to establish, first of all, because it does affect to a certain extent the value, whether or not it is a Dutch-made one. And it could be made by a Dutchman in England, or it could be by a Dutchman in Holland, and that does affect the value to an extent. And what we do is to see how it is constructed. The oak here is the traditional lining for good quality furniture of that period. On an English one, they veneered onto pine. On the continent, they veneered onto oak.
Yes.
You don't see the front, and so here they used pine. So there is now no doubt that it's made in England. Also, rare for this period, it has the original plate, that lovely sort of fan-tailed lock. Wonderful thing. And here, I think the original handles. Now that in itself is terribly unusual. The one thing that is against it, from a collector's point of view, is that the feet are not right. It should stand
much higher.
about that high, not much higher, because then you wouldn't see the wonderful top. I want to just look at the condition of it. You can see that the damage is caused by the structure and shrinkage. And if I do that, you can see that piece is loose. That is the moulding which was applied, onto which they put veneer cross-banded. Wonderful, absolutely right for 1690, 1700, but as it shrunk, it's broken away. These pieces have lifted up, and now, of course, you catch the duster every time you dust it. Now, this has to be done extremely carefully, because each of those little pieces has to be cleaned from underneath and laid down. What you cannot do is have somebody simply clamp it up and rub the surface down so that it's smooth.
No.
One of the many wonderful things about this is the colour.
Yes.
And this superb
Yes,
surface.
it's beautiful.
This is the original varnish, for want of a better word, that was put on by using shell lac, and rubbed down with reeds and dust, and coat after coat was put on until this surface was achieved. And that has lasted all these years. And it is virtually impossible to recreate that. Otherwise, an exemplary piece. I think for a good insurance valuation, it should be 12,500.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, I had no idea it was anything
Well,
like
it's
that.
an important piece of furniture.
Yes. Well, it's wonderful to know. Thank
All right.
you so much.
Well,
Yes,
thank you for
that's
letting me see
lovely.
it. Okay.
No, that's lovely. Thank you.